In the year 2347, humanity had grown far beyond Earth. People lived on planets far away, and ships traveled through space to explore new worlds. Humanity was strong, but it was also known for being bold and sometimes reckless. The leaders of Earth and its colonies were proud of what they had achieved, but they knew not everyone in the galaxy felt the same way. One day, something unusual happened. A large, shining ship appeared near Sol Station, a massive space station that orbited Earth. This ship did not belong to humans. It belonged to the Galactic Council, a group of ancient alien species who ruled much of the galaxy. No one had seen them up close before, and their arrival caused both excitement and fear. Commander Laura Hayes stood at the center of the action. She was a calm and smart woman, trusted by many to lead in difficult times. With her was William Carter, a skilled diplomat known for his ability to find common ground even in the toughest situations. Together, they prepared to meet the Council's representatives. The Council's ship docked with Sol Station, and its passengers stepped out. They looked strange, with glowing skin and tall, slender bodies. Their leader, Zenara, spoke first. Her voice came through a translator device, soft but firm. "We come in peace," she said, "but your actions concern us. You expand quickly, and your presence disrupts the balance we have worked hard to maintain." William nodded politely. He tried to explain that humanity only wanted to grow and learn. "We seek knowledge and progress," he said. "We do not wish to harm anyone." But Captain Ryan Mitchell, the head of Sol Station's defense forces, was less friendly. He glared at the aliens and asked why they had such advanced technology, while younger species like humans struggled. "Are you hiding things from us?" he demanded. Laura stepped in before the situation could worsen. "Let's focus on understanding each other," she said, trying to keep the tone calm. Still, the meeting ended without clear answers. Zenara gave humanity a choice: join the Council and follow their rules, or face isolation from the rest of the galaxy. Back on Earth, news of the Council's visit spread quickly. People talked about it everywhere, in homes, schools, and workplaces. Some thought joining the Council would be good for humanity. Others believed it would mean giving up freedom. Governments argued about what to do next, and public opinion was split. Dr. Emily Grant, a scientist working on Sol Station, supported the idea of joining the Council. "Think about the technology they have," she told Laura. "If we work with them, we could learn so much." But Lieutenant Daniel Ross, a soldier loyal to Earth, disagreed. "They're too powerful," he said. "If we let them control us, we'll lose everything we've built." Laura listened to both sides, but she didn't know what to think. She admired Emily's optimism, but understood Daniel's concerns. The decision would affect billions of lives, and the pressure weighed heavily on her shoulders. Meanwhile, William worked tirelessly to draft a response to the Council. He wanted to show respect while standing firm on humanity's values. Yet every word he wrote seemed to anger someone. Some thought he was being too weak. Others felt he was too aggressive. The task left him exhausted and unsure if he could ever satisfy everyone. As days passed, tensions continued to rise. The Council's ultimatum loomed over humanity like a storm cloud. Everyone waited anxiously to see what would happen next. Would humanity bow to the Council's demands, or would they stand their ground? The answer would shape the future of the entire galaxy, and no one knew what it would be. The meeting with the Galactic Council had ended, but the questions it raised lingered. Humanity was divided, unsure whether to trust these alien visitors or see them as a threat. The Council's leader, Zenara, had spoken of peace, yet her words carried an edge of warning. Her offer, a choice between joining the Council or facing isolation, left Earth's leaders uneasy. Commander Laura Hayes spent hours reviewing recordings of the encounter. She watched Zenara's calm demeanor and listened to her carefully chosen words. Something about the Council felt off, though Laura couldn't quite put her finger on it. Were they truly peaceful, or was this a clever trick? She shared her thoughts with William Carter, who was equally troubled. "We need more time," William said. "If we rush into a decision, we might make a mistake we can't undo." Laura agreed, but time was a luxury they didn't have. The Council had given humanity only a few weeks to decide, and every day brought new challenges. Back on Earth, debates raged in government chambers and public forums. Some argued that joining the Council would bring benefits beyond imagination. Access to advanced technology, trade opportunities, and protection from unknown dangers were tempting prospects. Others saw the Council's proposal as a trap, a way to control humanity and stifle its independence. Dr. Emily Grant, one of Sol Station's top scientists, leaned toward cooperation. "Think about it," she told Laura during a quiet moment. "They've been around for thousands of years. They must know things we can't even imagine. Imagine curing diseases, solving energy shortages, or traveling faster than light. All because we worked with them." Lieutenant Daniel Ross, however, remained skeptical. A soldier through and through, he believed in strength and self-reliance. "They're powerful, sure," he said, "but power corrupts. If we let them dictate our future, we'll lose everything we fought for. We built this civilization ourselves, and we don't need their help to keep going." Laura found herself caught between these two perspectives. She admired Emily's optimism and desire for progress, but she also respected Daniel's caution and determination to protect humanity's freedom. Both sides made valid points, and the weight of the decision pressed down on her. Meanwhile, Captain Ryan Mitchell focused on defense. He ordered increased patrols around Sol Station and nearby colonies, just in case the Council decided to act aggressively. "Better safe than sorry," he said when Laura questioned his actions. Though she understood his reasoning, she worried that such measures might escalate tensions unnecessarily. As days passed, rumors began to spread about a secret project hidden beneath Mars' surface. Known as Project Titan, it involved developing a powerful weapon capable of neutralizing any alien threat. Officially, the project didn't exist, but whispers of its development reached the public. Some saw it as a necessary precaution. Others viewed it as reckless provocation. William tried to address the growing unrest by drafting a formal response to the Council. He wanted to express humanity's willingness to cooperate while asserting its right to self-determination. But every sentence he wrote seemed inadequate. How could he convey both respect and resolve without sounding weak or confrontational? Laura joined him late one night as he worked. "You're doing your best," she said gently. "No one expects perfection." William sighed, rubbing his temples. "I just wish I knew what the right answer was," he admitted. "Every choice feels like it could lead to disaster." The pressure mounted as the deadline approached. People across Earth and its colonies waited anxiously for news. Protests erupted in some cities, while others held vigils hoping for peace. In space, the crew of Sol Station prepared for the worst, knowing they stood on the front lines of whatever might come next. Despite the uncertainty, Laura refused to give up hope. She believed that humanity's strength lay not in weapons or technology, but in its ability to adapt and overcome. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling that the coming days would test that strength like never before. The rumors about Project Titan grew louder, and soon they reached the Galactic Council. Zinara's envoy sent a message to Sol Station, their tone colder than before. "We warned you about aggression." The message read, "Your secret weapon threatens the peace we seek to protect." The word sent a chill through everyone on the station. Commander Laura Hayes knew the Council was watching. Every move humanity made was under scrutiny, and the stakes were higher than ever. She called an emergency meeting with her team, including William Carter, Captain Ryan Mitchell, Dr. Emily Grant, and Lieutenant Daniel Ross. They gathered in a small conference room aboard Sol Station, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. "We can't hide this anymore," Laura said, looking at each of them in turn. "If the Council knows about Project Titan, we need to decide what to do. Do we shut it down to show we're serious about peace, or do we keep it as a safeguard?" Emily spoke first, her voice calm but firm. "Shutting it down would be a mistake," she said. The Council has superior technology. Without something to defend ourselves, we're vulnerable. If they decide to attack, we won't stand a chance." Daniel nodded in agreement. "Exactly," he said. "They've given us an ultimatum. But that doesn't mean we have to roll over. We've built this project for a reason, to protect ourselves. Why should we abandon it now?" William frowned, his hands clasped tightly together. "But think about what keeping it says to the Council," he argued. "It tells them we don't trust them. It tells them we're preparing for war. If we want any chance at peace, we need to show them we're willing to meet them halfway." Captain Mitchell leaned forward, his expression stern. "And if they're not interested in peace?" he asked. "What then?" "Disarming ourselves won't make us safer. It'll make us weak. I say we finish Project Titan and let them know we're not afraid to use it if we have to." Laura listened to all of them, her mind racing. Each side had valid points, but the decision wasn't easy. She knew that whatever choice they made would shape humanity's future, and possibly its survival. As the debate continued, news arrived from Earth. Public opinion was shifting. At first, many people had supported cooperation with the Council, but the revelation of Project Titan changed things. Some saw it as proof that humanity needed to stay strong and independent. Others feared it would provoke the Council into attacking. Governments across Earth were divided too. Some leaders pushed for peace talks, while others demanded a show of force. The United Earth Assembly held endless meetings, trying to find common ground, but no consensus emerged. The lack of unity only added to the chaos. Laura decided to visit the Project Titan facility beneath Mars' surface. She wanted to see it for herself before making any decisions. Accompanied by William and Emily, she boarded a shuttle and traveled to the Red Planet. The facility was massive, filled with advanced machinery and scientists working tirelessly. "This is our best hope," Emily said as they walked through the complex. "If we can complete it, we'll have a way to defend ourselves against anything, even the Council's ships." William looked around, his expression troubled. "Or it could start a war," he said quietly. "Once the Council sees this, they might see us as a threat. And if they attack, where does it end?" Laura didn't answer right away. She thought about the faces of the people back on Earth, the families hoping for peace, the soldiers ready to fight, the scientists dreaming of a better future. Humanity was a mix of so many hopes and fears, strengths and weaknesses. Whatever choice she made, it wouldn't satisfy everyone. On the way back to Sol Station, Laura stared out the window at the stars. The galaxy was vast and full of possibilities, but also dangers. She realized that humanity's greatest challenge wasn't just the Council, it was deciding who they wanted to be. Did they want to be warriors, always ready for battle, or explorers, seeking understanding and connection? The answers weren't clear, but one thing was certain: time was running out. The Council's deadline loomed closer, and soon humanity would have to choose its path. Laura hoped they would make the right decision, but deep down, she wasn't sure what right even meant anymore. As the deadline approached, tensions aboard Sol Station reached a breaking point. The crew worked around the clock, preparing for any possibility. Some focused on strengthening defenses, while others scrambled to find a way to communicate humanity's position to the Galactic Council without sparking conflict. Amid the chaos, Commander Laura Hayes found herself questioning every decision she had made so far. Captain Ryan Mitchell pushed harder than ever to complete Project Titan. He believed it was humanity's only chance at survival if the Council turned hostile. "We can't afford to be weak," he told Laura during one of their briefings. "If they see us as helpless, they'll crush us. This weapon is our insurance policy." But Dr. Emily Grant grew increasingly uneasy. She had supported the project at first, but now she feared it might do more harm than good. "Every time we act like we're preparing for war, we give the Council a reason to distrust us," she said. "What if finishing this weapon pushes them over the edge? What then?" Laura listened to both sides, her mind torn. She trusted Ryan's instincts as a soldier, but she also understood Emily's concerns. The last thing humanity needed was to escalate the situation further. Still, she couldn't ignore the reality. The Council was powerful, and humanity needed a way to protect itself. William Carter, meanwhile, tried to open a new line of communication with the Council. He sent messages pleading for patience, explaining that humanity was still divided and needed more time to decide. But Zenara's responses were cold and unyielding. "Time is a luxury you no longer have," she replied in one message. "Your actions speak louder than your words." The stress began to take its toll on everyone. Laura noticed William looking more exhausted each day, his confidence shaken by the Council's refusal to negotiate. Even Daniel Ross, usually so sure of himself, seemed quieter, his usual fiery determination replaced by uncertainty. One night, as Laura walked through the station's observation deck, she spotted Lieutenant Ross staring out at the stars. "You okay?" she asked, joining him by the window. He shrugged. "Just thinking," he said, "about what happens next. If we back down now, we lose everything. But if we fight, well, I don't know if we're ready for that." Laura nodded. "None of us knows," she admitted. "But we have to make a choice. And whatever we decide, we'll have to live with it." The next morning brought alarming news. A security breach had been detected on Sol Station. Someone, or something, had accessed classified files, including data about Project Titan. At first, the crew thought it might be an internal leak, but further investigation revealed the truth. Spies from the Council had infiltrated the station. Laura called an emergency meeting. "They know about the weapon," she said, her voice steady despite the panic rising inside her. "This changes everything." Ryan slammed his fist on the table. "I knew it," he exclaimed. "They've been watching us all along. They never intended to give us a real choice." Emily shook her head. "Maybe not," she said. "But if we react too strongly, we'll prove them right. We'll look like aggressors." William sighed deeply. "We're running out of options," he said. "If we dismantle the project now, maybe we can still salvage some trust. But if we don't—" Laura cut him off. "If we dismantle it, we leave ourselves defenseless," she said. "And if we keep it, we risk provoking them into attacking. Either way, we're gambling with billions of lives." The room fell silent as the weight of the situation settled over them. No one had a clear answer, and the clock kept ticking. Outside, the vastness of space stretched endlessly, indifferent to the struggles of those aboard Sol Station. Humanity's future hung in the balance, and Laura knew that the hardest decisions were yet to come. The discovery of the spies aboard Sol Station sent shockwaves through the crew. Everyone felt betrayed, as if the Council had crossed a line they couldn't ignore. Commander Laura Hayes called an emergency meeting to decide what to do next. The room was tense, with Captain Ryan Mitchell pacing back and forth, while Dr. Emily Grant sat quietly, her face pale with worry. "We need to act fast," Ryan said, his voice sharp. "If the Council knows about Project Titan, they'll see it as a threat. We can't let them think we're weak." William Carter shook his head. "Acting rashly will only make things worse," he argued. "We have to show them we're willing to cooperate. If we dismantle the weapon now, maybe we can still avoid war." Laura listened carefully, her mind racing. She knew both sides had valid points, but the situation was spiraling out of control. Before she could respond, Lieutenant Daniel Ross spoke up. "Dismantling the weapon is a mistake," he said firmly. "It's the only thing keeping us safe. If we destroy it, we're handing the Council all the power." The debate went on for hours, but no one could agree on a clear path forward. Finally, Laura stood up. "We don't have time for this," she said. "The Council gave us a deadline, and we're running out of time. We need to focus. Now." As the meeting ended, Laura decided to take matters into her own hands. She reached out to Zenara, hoping to buy more time. Her message was simple. "We are working to address your concerns. Please give us a chance to prove our intentions." To everyone's surprise, Zenera responded quickly. Her tone was colder than before. "Your actions speak louder than your words," she said. "You claim to seek peace, yet you prepare for war. Choose wisely, or face the consequences." The message left Laura shaken. It was clear the council wouldn't wait much longer. Desperate for answers, she turned to Emily. "Is there any way we can finish dismantling the weapon in time?" she asked. Emily hesitated. "It's possible," she said, "but it would mean halting all other projects and putting every available person on the task. Even then, it might not be enough." Ryan scoffed. "And leave ourselves defenseless? No way. I won't risk it." That night, Laura found herself alone in the station's observation deck, staring at the stars. Her thoughts were heavy with doubt. Was she making the right decisions? Could humanity survive without Project Titan? She didn't know, but she couldn't afford to give up. Then something unexpected happened. A message arrived from an unknown source. It wasn't from the council. It was from someone within their ranks. The sender identified himself as Kale, a member of the council who opposed Zenera's methods. "I've been watching your species," Kale wrote. "You have potential, but Zenera sees only danger. If you want to stop her, I can help, but you must act quickly." Laura read the message several times, her heart pounding. Was this a trap or a genuine offer? She shared it with William and Emily, who were equally stunned. "This could be our chance," William said cautiously. "If Kale is telling the truth, he might help us expose Zenera's true intentions." Emily nodded. "But we have to be careful. If the council finds out we're working with one of their own, it could make things worse." Laura agreed. "We'll keep it quiet for now," she said. "But if Kale is serious, he might give us the leverage we need to negotiate, or at least buy us more time." Over the next few days, Laura secretly communicated with Kale. He revealed that many members of the council doubted Zenera's leadership and believed her approach was too harsh. "She fears your growth," Kale explained. "But not everyone shares her views. If you dismantle Project Titan, I can help sway the others to your side." The plan was risky, but Laura saw no other option. She gathered her team and explained the situation. "Kale says he can help us," she said, "but we have to trust him and dismantle the weapon." Ryan was furious. "This is insane," he shouted. "We're walking into a trap." William tried to calm him down. "It's our best shot," he said. "If we don't try, we lose everything." In the end, the decision was made. Humanity would dismantle Project Titan and work with Kale to expose Zenera's plans. It was a gamble, but Laura knew they had no choice. As the crew began the painstaking process of disabling the weapon, Laura looked out at the stars once more. She didn't know what the future held, but she hoped they were doing the right thing for humanity and for the galaxy. The dismantling of Project Titan began in secret, with only a small group of trusted engineers and scientists involved. Commander Laura Hayes supervised the operation personally, knowing that any mistake could cost humanity dearly. The process was slow and painstaking, requiring precision to ensure the weapon's components were rendered useless without leaving behind evidence of its existence. As the work continued, Kale stayed in contact with Laura, providing updates on the Council's internal divisions. "Zenera grows impatient," he warned in one message. "She senses something is wrong. You must act quickly." Laura relayed this information to her team, emphasizing the urgency of their task. Captain Ryan Mitchell remained skeptical, his frustration evident. "If this goes south, we're defenseless," he muttered. Despite his doubts, he followed orders, helping coordinate security measures to prevent further breaches aboard Sol Station. Meanwhile, William Carter worked tirelessly to draft a formal statement for the Council. He wanted to present humanity's actions as a gesture of goodwill while subtly exposing Zenera's authoritarian tactics. It was a delicate balance, and every word mattered. Emily Grant assisted him, offering suggestions to make the message clearer and more persuasive. Days turned into nights, and the pressure mounted. The crew of Sol Station barely slept, driven by the looming deadline. Laura noticed the strain on everyone's faces, the dark circles under their eyes, the tense silences during meals. Yet no one complained. They all understood what was at stake. Finally, the dismantling of Project Titan was complete. Laura sent confirmation to Kel, who replied almost immediately. "Well done," he wrote. "Now comes the hard part. I will share proof of Zenera's intentions with the Council, but you must be ready for backlash." With the weapon disabled, Laura gathered her team for one last briefing. "This isn't over," she said. "Cal's plan might work, but we need to prepare for anything. Stay alert." As promised, Cal acted swiftly. Using encrypted channels, he broadcast evidence of Zenera's aggressive strategies to the entire Council. The revelations shocked many members, sparking heated debates among the alien species. Some argued that Zenera's approach violated the Council's principles of unity and cooperation. Others sided with her, believing humanity posed too great a risk to ignore. Back on Earth, news of the Council's internal conflict spread rapidly. Governments debated how to respond, while citizens anxiously awaited updates. Protests erupted in major cities, with some demanding peace and others calling for resistance. The world felt like it was holding its breath. On Sol Station, the crew monitored the situation closely. Laura received reports of the Council's fleet moving closer to Earth's solar system. Ships bristling with weapons surrounded the outer edges of human territory, casting a shadow of fear across the colonies. Zenera issued a final warning. "Your defiance has consequences. Comply or face annihilation." Despite the threat, Laura refused to panic. She trusted Cal's efforts to sway the Council and hoped his allies would prevail. William addressed the United Earth Assembly, urging calm and unity. "We've taken a stand for peace," he said. "Now we must trust that our actions will lead to a better future." Tensions reached a boiling point when the Council convened for an emergency session. Zenera argued passionately for retaliation, accusing humanity of betrayal. But Cal countered her claims, presenting undeniable proof of her manipulative tactics. His words resonated with many Council members, who began to question her leadership. In the end, the vote was close, but Zenera lost. The Council agreed to withdraw their fleet and give humanity another chance. Though they demanded strict oversight, they also acknowledged humanity's potential to contribute positively to the galaxy. When the news reached Sol Station, relief washed over the crew. Laura allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection, gazing out at the stars. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge yet, and emerged stronger for it. But as she looked ahead, she knew the road to peace would be long and difficult. Still, she felt hopeful. For the first time, humanity had proven it could stand firm without resorting to violence. The Council's decision to withdraw their fleet brought a wave of relief across humanity. But it wasn't the end of the story. Commander Laura Hayes knew that the fragile truce could shatter at any moment. The Council had agreed to give humanity another chance, but they also imposed strict conditions. Earth and its colonies would be monitored closely, and any sign of aggression would lead to severe consequences. Laura gathered her team aboard Sol Station to discuss what came next. William Carter looked exhausted but relieved. "We fought ourselves some time," he said, "but we need to prove we're serious about peace. If we don't, this could all fall apart." Captain Ryan Mitchell still wasn't convinced. "They're watching us like hawks," he said, his voice sharp. "How do we know they won't turn on us the second they get an excuse? Trusting them feels like walking into a trap." Dr. Emily Grant tried to stay optimistic. "This is a chance to show them we're not just about war and weapons," she said. "We can build something better, a partnership instead of a standoff." Despite their differences, everyone agreed on one thing. Humanity couldn't afford to make mistakes now. Every action, every decision would be scrutinized. Laura assigned teams to work on projects that demonstrated humanity's willingness to cooperate. Scientists focused on sharing knowledge with the Council, while diplomats worked on building stronger ties with alien species who supported peace. On Earth, Governments struggled to adapt to the new reality. Some leaders embraced the Council's oversight, seeing it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Others resisted, accusing the Council of overreach. Public opinion remained divided, with protests breaking out in cities around the globe. People argued about whether humanity had given up too much, or if this was the price of survival. Meanwhile, Kel continued to support humanity from within the Council. He sent regular updates to Laura, warning her about potential threats. "Zenara isn't gone," he wrote in one message. "She still has allies who believe in her vision. Be careful. They'll look for any reason to justify their fears." Laura took his warning seriously. She ordered increased security measures across all human settlements and kept Sol Station on high alert. Though the immediate threat had passed, she knew tensions could flare up again at any moment. As weeks turned into months, small signs of progress began to emerge. Scientists from Earth collaborated with Council researchers, exchanging ideas and technology. Diplomats attended interstellar conferences, working to bridge cultural gaps between humans and aliens. Slowly, trust started to form, fragile but real. William played a key role in these efforts, traveling to distant planets to meet with Council representatives. His calm demeanor and genuine desire for understanding won over many skeptics. "We're not so different," he often said. "We all want safety, prosperity, and a brighter future." But not everyone shared his optimism. Lieutenant Dangle Ross remained wary, convinced that the Council's goodwill wouldn't last forever. "They're powerful," he told Laura during a quiet moment. "And power corrupts. Don't forget that." Laura nodded, knowing he was right. Humanity had taken a step toward peace, but the path ahead was uncertain. She thought about the sacrifices they'd made, the dismantling of Project Titan, the compromises they'd accepted, and wondered if it was worth it. One evening, Laura stood alone on the observation deck, staring at the stars. The galaxy stretched endlessly before her, full of beauty and danger. She thought about everything humanity had achieved and everything it still hoped to accomplish. For the first time, she allowed herself to feel a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, they could find a way to coexist with the Council, not as enemies, but as equals. But deep down, she knew the journey was far from over. The Council's watchful eyes lingered, and old fears still lingered in the hearts of many. Humanity had proven it could stand firm without resorting to violence, but true peace would require patience, courage, and unwavering determination. As Laura gazed at the stars, she vowed to keep fighting. For Earth, for its people, and for the future they all dreamed of. Months passed, and humanity began to adjust to its new relationship with the Galactic Council. The constant monitoring felt intrusive, but it also pushed people to work harder at proving their intentions were peaceful. Commander Laura Hayes watched as Earth and its colonies slowly transformed. New alliances formed, not just with the Council, but with other species who had once been wary of humans. It was a fragile peace, but it was growing stronger every day. William Carter became a symbol of this change. His efforts to build bridges between humanity and alien civilizations earned him respect across the galaxy. He traveled from planet to planet, sharing stories of Earth's struggles and triumphs. "We're still learning," he often said, "but we want to be better, to do better." Back on Sol Station, life settled into a rhythm. Captain Ryan Mitchell remained cautious, always on the lookout for signs of betrayal. "I'm glad things are calmer," he admitted to Laura one day. "But I won't let my guard down. Not yet." Dr. Emily Grant focused her energy on joint research projects with Council scientists. Together, they made breakthroughs in medicine, energy production, and space exploration. "This is what we've always wanted," she told Laura during a rare moment of rest. "To learn from others, to grow together." Despite these positive changes, challenges remained. Some factions within the Council continued to oppose humanity's inclusion. Zenara, though sidelined, still had supporters who believed her warnings about human aggression. Kale kept Laura informed about these threats, urging her to stay vigilant. On Earth, debates about humanity's role in the galaxy raged on. Governments argued over how much power to give the Council and whether cooperation was worth the cost. Public opinion shifted constantly, influenced by news of both progress and setbacks. Protests erupted periodically, reflecting the deep divisions that still existed. Laura spent much of her time mediating conflicts, not just with the Council, but within humanity itself. She knew that unity was essential if they hoped to survive in a galaxy full of powerful forces. "We can't afford to fight among ourselves," she told her team during a meeting. "Not now. Not when so much is at stake." One evening, Laura received an unexpected message from Kale. "The Council is considering granting humanity limited membership," he wrote. "It's a step toward full integration, but it comes with responsibilities. Be ready." The news sparked mixed reactions. Some saw it as a victory, a sign that humanity was being accepted. Others feared it meant giving up even more control. Laura worked closely with William to prepare a response, emphasizing humanity's commitment to cooperation while asserting its right to self-determination. As the Council deliberated, Laura reflected on everything that had happened. Humanity had faced its greatest test and emerged stronger, not through weapons or force, but through resilience and adaptability. They had proven they could stand firm without resorting to violence, earning a place among the stars. Finally, the Council announced its decision. Humanity would be granted provisional membership, allowing them to participate in galactic affairs under certain conditions. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. When the news reached Sol Station, cheers erupted throughout the corridors. For the first time in months, there was hope in the air. Laura stood on the observation deck, watching the stars shimmer against the endless blackness of space. She thought about the sacrifices that had been made, the dismantling of Project Titan, the compromises, the sleepless nights, and wondered if it had all been worth it. Then she remembered William's words, "We're still learning." A smile crossed her face as she realized the truth. Humanity wasn't perfect, and neither was the galaxy. But they were learning how to trust, how to cooperate, and how to dream of a better future. As she gazed at the stars, Laura felt a quiet sense of pride. The road ahead would be long and uncertain, but humanity had taken its first steps toward becoming part of something greater than itself. And that, she thought, was worth every challenge they had faced.